Hello everyone. Today we are addressing the most critical decision in any data project, choosing the right tool for the job. We know what machine learning is in theory. Now we need to understand the specific types of problems it can solve. By the end of this session, you will be able to look at any new dataset and immediately recognize whether you need regression, classification, or clustering. Here is our agenda. We will break the machine learning landscape down into three distinct territories. First, regression problems. This is where we predict continuous numbers. Second, classification problems. This is where we predict categories or labels. And third, clustering problems. This is our unsupervised technique for discovering hidden patterns without prior knowledge. Let's see how they fit together. Let's map these to the hierarchy we established previously. Please look at the tree diagram on the screen. On the left, under supervised learning, we have two branches. If you are teaching the computer to predict a specific quantity, like temperature, that is regression. If you are teaching it to pick a label, like yes or no, that is classification. On the right, under unsupervised learning, we have clustering. Here, there is no target label. We are simply asking the computer to look at the raw structure of the data and organize it for us. Let's dive into regression. Visually, this is best represented by the graph you see here. The blue dots are our data. The red line is our model. The goal of regression is to predict a continuous numerical output. Continuous is the key word. It means the answer can be any real number, 5.1, 5.2, 5.25. It is not limited to fixed buckets. We are establishing a mathematical function, f of x, that draws that red line through the chaos of the data to give us a precise prediction. Where do we use this? In the general world, think of house price prediction. You input the square footage and the number of bedrooms, and the model predicts a price, say $250,000. In engineering, we use this for rock permeability. We measure input features like porosity, pore throat diameter, and the formation factor. The model then predicts the permeability value in millidarcies. It gives us a precise physical measurement without needing to destroy the sample in a lab. How do we know if our regression model is good? We use three key metrics. First, MAE, or mean absolute error. This is simply the average of our mistakes. It's easy to interpret. Second, RMSE, or root mean squared error. This penalizes large errors. If your model makes one huge mistake, RMSE will jump up, warning you that something is wrong. Third is the R-squared score. This measures goodness of fit. An R-squared of 1.0 is a perfect fit. In the example on screen, 0.85 means we have a strong fit, explaining 85% of the data's behavior. Now let's switch to classification. Unlike regression, we are not predicting a number. We are predicting a category. Look at the diagram. We are not measuring how much, we are asking which one. Is it type A or type B? Is it spam or not spam? The output is a discrete variable. The model's job is to find the boundary line that best separates these two classes. Let's look at the applications. A classic example is email spam detection. The inputs are the subject line and keywords. The output is a binary choice, spam or not spam. In civil engineering, we apply this to slope stability. We input the slope angle, soil cohesion, and pore pressure. The model classifies the slope as either stable or unstable. This is critical for safety, a simple yes or no that can save lives. Evaluating classification is trickier. We use a confusion matrix, shown here. It breaks down our predictions into 4 boxes. True positive and true negative are the green boxes. These are when we get it right. The red boxes are our errors. False positive is a false alarm. For example, predicting a landslide when the slope is actually safe. It's expensive, but safe. False negative is missed danger. This is predicting the slope is safe when it is actually unstable. In engineering, this is the error we must avoid at all costs. From that matrix, we derive our scores. Accuracy is the most common metric. The formula is TP plus TN divided by the total. Ideally, we want this to be high. However, accuracy can be misleading. That's why we need precision and recall. Precision checks for reliability. The formula is TP divided by the sum of TP and FP. It asks, when we predicted a landslide, how often were we right? Recall, also called sensitivity, checks for safety. The formula is TP divided by the sum of TP and FN. It asks, of all the actual landslides, how many did we find? In engineering, we usually prioritize recall because we can't afford to miss a single risk. Finally, we arrive at clustering. This is unsupervised learning. Look at the image on the left. We have raw data points with no labels. We don't know what they are. We ask the algorithm to find the structure for us. As you see on the right, it groups them based on similarity. It tells us these points belong together, even though we never told it why. A general example of this is customer segmentation, grouping shoppers by spending habits. But in geotechnics, we use this for geological soil classification. Imagine we have raw sensor readings from a site, moisture, density, grain size, but we don't know the geology yet. We feed this raw data into a clustering algorithm. It automatically discovers distinct zones. It might say, region A is distinct from region B. It's then up to the engineer to look at the results and say, region A represents sand and region B represents clay. The AI finds the pattern, the human gives it meaning. To summarize, here's your cheat sheet for choosing the right model. If you have labeled data and need a number, use regression. If you have labeled data and need a category, use classification. If you have unlabeled data and need to discover patterns, use clustering. Keep this table in mind and you will always know where to start your projects. I hope this overview has clarified the different approaches available to you. Thank you for your attention.